Hi everyone, my name's James Benger. I'm a writer from Kansas City. I have several books of poetry, but today I'm going to talk about a novel called 1 Week. That's what the cover looks like backwards. It's coming out March 4th through Alien Buddha Press. This is my first published novel, and I'm really excited to hear what people have to think about it, or have to say about it. Um, so what I'm going to do today is I'm going to read a little bit of it to give you an idea of what the book is about. Um, Before I get into that, I'm going to read the back cover just to give you an idea of, in general, what the story is. So this is the what's on the back cover of 1 Week. 1 Week follows Ben, a community college dropout in his early 20s, as he navigates a mundane existence in the early 2000s, juggling two dead-end jobs, living in a basement apartment that smells faintly of despair, and subsisting on peanut butter sandwiches and ramen. Ben spends his evenings at the local dive bar and his days questioning the meaning of it all. Over the course of a single week, Ben's interactions with coworkers, friends, and strangers reveal a portrait of quiet desperation, grim humor, and fleeting moments of connection. Whether bantering with Laney, the overworked office receptionist, or confronting the grinding reality of payday, Ben teeters between resignation and the faint hope of something more. Set against the backdrop of a rusted-out Buick Century and a life lived paycheck to paycheck, 1 Week captures the absurdity and bleak beauty of trying to find purpose when everything feels like it's falling apart. Okay, so I think that gives you a good idea of, in general, what the story's about. Um, that sounds kind of dark, and the story is a little bit dark, but I promise there's jokes in there too. Um, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to read one short scene from the book I think it kind of gives you a general feel of the whole story and the narrator. Ben is the narrator, the main character. Obviously, it's told first person narrative. And I guess not obviously. I don't know why I threw that in. Um, and this scene is, he's with his friend Max, who is the main employee at the bar he likes to hang out at. The bar is called the Wet Hole. This is after last call, and he and Max are the only ones left. They've shoved everyone else out, locked the doors, and all that fun stuff. So this is what happens between those two characters after everyone else is gone. Max grinned. "Help me clean up and there's another beer in it for you." "Deal," I said. "What do you want me to do?" "Bristles or rag, your choice." "What?" "You can sweep the floor or you can wipe down the tables and the bar with disinfectant." I felt an absurd amount of euphoria in gaining the knowledge that disinfectant was regularly employed at the Wet Hole. Still, I didn't really feel like being the one to get my hands that dirty. "I'll take the broom, I guess." "Damn it," Max said, only half joking. "I was pretty sure you were going to say that, but I was kind of hoping you wouldn't." "Yeah? That cleaning solution is so strong it makes my eyes water." "Okay, well, I'm definitely sticking with the broom then." He gestured to the door and back. "Broom and dustpans in the hallway." I was a little slow getting off my stool. "Hop to, bitch." "Jesus," I said, heading for the back hallway. "I'm not sure a beer's worth this shabby treatment." "And I'm not sure your help's worth a beer." Then Max grabbed a small bucket from the floor behind the bar, squirted some seriously pungent liquid in it, and filled it the rest of the way with water. We worked in silence. It wasn't that bad, and we were done just around the time I was beginning to hit my stride. I replaced the broom and dustpan in back and returned to the bar. Max dumped the bucket, rinsed his hands, and pulled out two more beers from the fridge. "Deal's a deal," he said, opening the bottles. The place reeked of chemicals. I put my lips to the bottle and then changed my mind. "I'm not sure I can drink in this smell," I said. "Fine," Max said. "Mr. Hoity-Toity needs special treatment." He grabbed his beer, came out from behind the bar, and headed toward the back. Follow me. I did as instructed. We went through the claustrophobic hallway. There was one door on the left, presumably the office, and one straight ahead. We went through the latter. It gave to a postage stamp of a backyard. There was a single bulb sticking out of the side of the building above the door. It illuminated patchy grass and a wooden privacy fence in a state of advanced disrepair, and two camp chairs. We each took a chair. There were cup holders in the fraying armrests. We were silent for a few minutes and a few swallows, and then I asked out of nowhere, "You think this is it?" "What?" Max asked. His face, though his face made it seem like he knew exactly what I meant. "I don't know," I said. "This. Is this it? Like we're just going to keep doing this every day until we physically can't?" "Don't know about you, B, but I have no intention of living to decrepitude." He laughed, but it sounded more sad than genuine. "Where'd that come from?" "I don't know. I guess it's been hitting me how empty all of this really is. I do the same thing every day. I get up in the morning. You actually get up in the morning? Shut up. I get up in the morning, not feeling rested or refreshed at all. I go through the most basic stuff to make myself kind of presentable, though I don't feel it at all. I go to work, and not to sound too conceited, but I actually am pretty mediocre, and I mean that as a selling point. Then I usually end up here drinking with you until I stumble back to my shitty apartment. By the way, you've never been there, but it really is a dump. And I've got next to nothing, and I work two jobs, and that just barely keeps my head above water. It all just seems so fucking pointless. There's got to be another way. Or something else. Something. We were both quiet for a while after that. Eventually, Max said, "Damn, dude. You always seem like you got your shit together." I gave a rueful chuckle. "Yeah, well, looks can be deceiving. I think I've gotten pretty good at putting up a decent front." Max swirled what was left at the bottom of his bottle. "Tell the truth, I sort of used you for inspiration." "Look, dude," I said, trying to hide a smile. "I like you a lot, but not like that." Max smiled and gave me a light punch on the bicep. "Fuck you, man." Then, after a little more silence, "I mean it, though. Like, I'm doing okay and all, but you always seem like you got the world figured out. It's goddamn impressive." I sighed. "Max, I don't know shit about fuck." Max raised his head to look at the stars. "Maybe you do," he said. "Maybe you know enough to know you can't know everything. Maybe you've got a firmer grasp on all this stuff than the most of the rest of us. You're just having a little trouble dealing with that wisdom." I chuckled again. This time it was a little more genuine. "I think you give me too much credit." Then, as an afterthought, "And no matter how much you flatter me and how much free booze you put in front of me, I'm not going to blow you." We both laughed at that. We finished our beers, then sat in silence for a while, looking at the stars, the rotting fence, the struggling grass. If my life were a yard, I thought, this would be it. Finally, I said, "Well, I guess I better shove off." "Yeah, probably that time. Hand me that," he said, grabbing the empty from my hand. He chucked both bottles over the fence. We heard them shatter against the brick of the building on the other side of the decaying wood. Max giggled. "You're an idiot," I said. "Whatever," he said. "Chicks dig me." I shook my head. No accounting for taste. Max headed back through the door as I began walking around the building to the sidewalk that would lead to my apartment complex. "Hasta mañana," he called from the doorway. I waved, but didn't turn around. So that's one scene out of this book. I guess I should have mentioned, so it's not quite as offensive. The character Max is bi, so he yeah. So Ben wasn't being intentionally homophobic or anything. At least that's the way I wrote it anyway. Um, so there you have it. 1 week. New novel by me, James Benger. Comes out March 4th from Alien Buddha Press. Uh, I just wanted to say thank you to Red at Alien Buddha for giving this story a shot. And I'm looking forward to seeing and hearing what everyone thinks of it. Thanks. Bye, everyone.